What's up, guys? It is Mark from the Jeep Lab again, coming to you guys today from the shop. We are talking about drive shafts on the Jeep JKs and JKUs. Something we're seeing a lot of Jeeps come in for is new drive shafts. A lot of people are lifting them. They're not putting drive shafts in them. Obviously, it's putting strain on the drive lines themselves. So if you're looking into getting a lift on your Jeep, we highly recommend budgeting for drive shafts at that time. We have them made here locally. There are a couple other good brands out there, JE Reel, Tom Woods, so on and so forth. But we actually have a guy who makes them locally, does a great job, day turnaround, warranty on them. So that's what we're working with today. But a customer gave us a call here, just as an example, started hearing some clicking noise underneath, changed a little bit between different days, felt unsafe driving the vehicle, called us, we came over, took a look, and the easiest way we start to see anybody can get under their Jeep and take a look and say, is this drive shaft going bad, is grease. There is grease slung everywhere underneath your Jeep. Go up to your transfer case, whether it be front, we're seeing a lot more of those fail first than the rears for just everyday driving and whatnot. But if you start to see grease on that heat shield above the transfer case where it connects to the drive shaft, right there at that flange, usually that means your drive shaft is starting to go bad. Okay. Once that grease leaves that boot and gets all flung out, it's getting dry in there. It's giving more room for the gears to move around in there. It's starting to clacking noise, clicking noise. Is kind of step one to see. Usually you won't see that happen at the front unless you've got some pinion bearing and issues on your axle side. But if you go to the rear, same thing. And that's what the case was with this one. We actually looked, there was grease everywhere on the front and back. I'm going to show you here. Check this out. So I mean, as far as this supposed to be being packed with grease, this is pretty dry right here. The boot is completely gone. You can see this one is pretty much blown out, right? The rear looks the same. Obviously not too much going on here. This is what attaches to the front axle. Now what we're doing is same thing attached to the front axle. We're switching it over to a double cardigan. That's gonna relieve stress off so it's not such a severe angle. As far as the rear goes, we're finding that with the JKs especially, if you don't have adjustable control arms, we're having to put those on there to get the correct pinion angle as well, to improve that pinion angle and get it as close as we can. If we're not putting adjustable control arms, the rears on these JK are getting driveline vibration issues. So definitely recommend that. As far as taking these guys off, they're pretty simple. 5/16, really small wrench, get in there and pull all those small bolts out. Don't use an 8mm, you'll strip out the heads. So 5/16, get in there. You got the 4 bolts on the front axle. Comes out pretty easy. You might need a little ball peen hammer. Go ahead and tap on that. Get them to come out. Front comes off really easy. The rear, sometimes it's a little bit harder to get off at the axle side. So there's 2 holes on the rear there. You can actually take a really small punch and kind of tap, maybe put some PB Blaster, let that kind of drip around and soak in just a little bit, make it easier for that to come out. Other than that, once they're out, we're replacing the yolks on the transfer case itself. So in order to pull that out, you got, I believe it's a 32mm nut, both sides. You will need to put the Jeep in gear on the front. That way it locks and it doesn't just free spin. But go ahead and undo those, pull those off. You'll see in that old yoke, there is a rubber O-ring in there. Take that O-ring out. You're gonna need to put that into the new yoke. Once you do that, front and rear, make sure you clean up everything. If you've got a lot of grease that's spun up underneath, get rid of all that grease, clean all that up really nice and well. Pop that O-ring in that new yoke, put it on there. You can put some Loctite, some people recommend, on the big jam nut. Put some RTV on the back of that jam nut. Tighten it up there. I believe it's 15 pounds on the front and the rear. They're identical for your install on the transfer case side. Once you got that, then you can go ahead and put your drive shafts in. Recommend looking up your torque specs for your vehicle depending on what you're doing, and make sure you put a little bit of Loctite on those smaller bolts that are holding to the axle side or on those flanges. So pretty simple install, guys, for drive shafts. Anybody can do it. Takes a couple hours to do. Pretty basic tools. I really like the little electric angled drivers. Those get in there, or if you got a little air ratchet, get in there with that too. But sometimes you need just a little tiny ratcheting wrench is going to be your simplest. So hope that answered any questions. If you guys like the channel, we're going to start getting you some better content, hopefully a little bit more often, but make sure you like, subscribe. We're on Instagram too, Tampa Jeep Lab, Team Jeep Lab. We're on Facebook, check us out. So like, comment, subscribe, guys. We'll see you next time.